I was in D.C.
I was in the DEP program.
I was elementary school, middle school maybe.
I remember I was in high school.
I was about 5 years old during the time, in kindergarten. My mom was a school aide at the same school where I attended.
When I was actually changing into my camouflage uniform to go on watch, as I was changing, I actually heard the plane hit the Pentagon. And then when I was fully dressed and came outside, as I looked across the river, I could see the black smoke.
It was really quiet that morning. I was used to hearing a little bustle around the house, birds chirping. I could tell something was wrong just because it was dead silent.
And I was watching TV, then all of a sudden it just popped up on the news, CNN. When one of the towers got hit, and then followed by the next aircraft that hit the other tower.
Was very confused at what happened. All I remember is we got released from school. They gave us very little information until we actually got home and you actually turned on television to see the news.
And on that day, my mom came into the classroom, rushed in, grabbed me out, we left, and the first thing I did was look into the sky, and it was in the afternoon and it was still very dark. It was all ash and dust in the sky, like a nightmare. Couldn't understand what was going on.
It almost brings tears to my eyes to think that, you know, there's people out there who bring this tragedy to American soil. To me, I had a family member that was in one of the towers, and I would never speak to her again. So to me, it's very near and dear to my soul.
It was just very shocking to know that, you know, something like this could happen, and a close friend that you have or a close relative you have is there one day and it's gone another. So it makes you feel 10 times better when you're part of an organization like the Navy or the Armed Forces of what you do.
Every New Yorker is very proud of where they're from. New York's New York. It's New York City. I'm from the Bronx. I love saying it, and to watch an attack so close to home, it takes something from you, but it awakens something else.
We thought we had lost 2 members of our family. We didn't know what to do. It's just that whole moment, it really made me realize that you can lose anyone in your family at any time. And life is never, it's not something you should take for granted. You can't take life for granted. And it's one of the reasons why I serve. Ever since that day, I just felt really compelled to do something that meant more to not only my family, but to my community, to my country. I couldn't fathom that ever happening again, especially at such a young age. I still think of it to this day. It has a really big impact on me, and it changed who I am.
I joined the Navy because I never want to see that happen again, and to be on a ship called the America is a direct way to do so. I actually asked for orders here because my joining the military was directly related to 9/11.
Everyone has so many stories for that day. My dad, when he was he actually told us later that day that he was in the Twin Towers when it was coming down, and he thought it was construction because he was on one of the lower levels of the towers. And he came out with his truck and his partner, and he saw what he thought were ants coming down from the sky, and it was actually people jumping out of the buildings. He couldn't believe his eyes. Like, to this day, he struggles to talk about it.
This is real. This isn't some movie that they were watching. It didn't feel real. It felt like it should have been a movie.
It almost makes you realize that it's not a game, this stuff is for real, that it could actually happen.
You lose a piece of yourself when the home front's attacked. It's basically as if someone walked into your house and took something from you, took a loved one, took something that you cherished. And even if you didn't lose something directly, you know somebody that did. It's basically something that can never be described. If you can just think of something that you've lost that is truly can never be found, that's what it felt like.
It's just the day that I'll never forget, you know. Never forget that day.